triggered formula. Helps keep you dry and odor-free all day. Right Guard Antiperspirant Solid. The more you sweat, the more protection you get.
Okay, we're back at the Kingdome awaiting the second half kickoff. Bob Costas along with Bob Trumpy. The Seahawks will get the ball, and they have the lead at the end of 30 minutes, 13-9. Leahy to kick off. And this is a more characteristic Leahy kickoff all the way into the end zone, and Horace Ivory decides he'll stay right there.
Well, Bob, some impressive stats for the Seattle Seahawks, their young quarterback. Even though it was his first start, he was 9 of 14 in the first half. He had 2 intercepted, but 1 was right at the end of the first half. That's not a bad performance by the young man from Milton College in Madison, Wisconsin.
You got it. And a look again at the Seahawk lineup as we prepare to start this second half.
Fans here very, very quiet, are they not?
They made plenty of noise during the first half as the Seahawks ran off to that 13-9 lead. Here's Craig. They also have a 5-year veteran named Sam Adkins on their roster, but they decided to go with Craig rather than Adkins. Did he pick that off? Jerry Holmes came up with it. At first glance, it looked as if it had fallen incomplete. And yet Holmes somehow came up with the football. Let's see if we can get a better view of it when we look again.
I believe you'll see him catch this with just one hand. And this ball is poorly thrown by Craig. I think he tries to overthrow it. It kind of dies. I believe he catches that totally with one hand. The ball never made contact with the ground. McCullough was the intended receiver, but nevertheless, the Jets now with great field position, and that's exactly what they needed, something to get some momentum back on their side of the field. Watch this.
What happened was the ball was in McCullough's hand, and Holmes held onto it as he rolled over.
Just took it right away.
Stole it away.
Absolutely.
Kevin Long carries and gets about 2 on first down. That was the 3rd Jet interception of this game and the first for Holmes this year.
That's exactly what the Jets need, a big play out of someone. You can see questionable as to whether or not it hit the ground, but the official on the other side of that play made the call, and it's Jets ball.
The word from Freeman McNeil, or on Freeman McNeil, he will not return in this ballgame. Sprained foot again, same injury as he had earlier. Long bounces off at the line of scrimmage and turns it into about a 3-yard gain. And so Freeman McNeil will not play for the rest of this afternoon.
I don't believe he's even come back from the Jet locker room for this second half. He's not on the field anywhere. Jets still struggling though now. Struggling though, 3rd down and 5 now, and they've not been able to really do much in this situation as you look at the offense. Todd Harper Newton, Jones, Barkham, and Gaffney. Wesley Walker still in New York, and the offensive line. We've allowed just 1 sack today.
So we'll see more of the likes of Newton and Long in this second half with McNeil's sideline. This is 3rd and a long 4 coming up. Todd completes it to Harper. And let's see where they're going to spot this. It looks like a first down, and it will be. A 7-yard gain and another clutch catch for Bruce Harper.
He has been their guy today. That's his 6th catch now so far. And he's got 40 yards, too. Make that 37, excuse me. You'll see that Richard Todd just waits for those wide receivers to go deep, clear out the linebackers and defensive backs. And I would say Harper's probably the 2nd or 3rd receiver. You see 74. Manu Tuiasosopo on coverage on a running back. Rather unusual defense. A defensive end and coverage on a running back.
From the 15-yard line, the Jets trailing 13-9. Looking to go ahead. Over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Durking, who had caught a touchdown pass earlier and ran that pattern over the middle. Todd not happy.
Thrown somewhat behind him, but really thrown as a bullet. Hard one to catch. They need some points here. They've had several opportunities and not gotten much out of it.
Well, listen to this place, Trump. It's like a tomb here at the start of the second half. There's the defensive line. They still play the standard 4-3, as do the Jets.
2nd and 10, 15.
Second and 10 from the 15-yard line. 13:25 to play in the 3rd quarter. The pitch is back to Durking. Makes a nice move, breaks tackles, and goes in.
We got to give a couple couple of big assists. 15 yards on the touchdown run. One to Jerome Barkham, and the biggest block by Marvin Powell, number 79. Watch him out in front of Durkee. Watch him take on Kenny Easley, number 45. He just steps up underneath 55. Jackson tries to knock him down without using his arms, which is certainly a mistake, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. What a turnaround.
So Durking, who had not scored a touchdown this year coming into this game, has scored 2 today, 1 on a reception, this one on a run. Leahy's kick is good, and for the first time in the ball game, the Jets have the lead. The Holmes interception on the Seahawks' first possession set it up. Durking takes it in on a fine 15-yard run, and the score, the Jets 16, the Seahawks 13.
Behind every Schlitz is a man who knows his beer.
Down here in Texas, people know a good beer. Many choose the taste of my Schlitz. Just one glass will tell a lot of beer drinkers what I've known all along. You just can't buy a better tasting beer than Schlitz.
What do I really think? I think Schlitz tastes better than Miller.
Schlitz tastes really smooth.
Mr. Sellinger, your Schlitz tastes good. It really does.
I'm glad you like it.
Behind every Schlitz is a man who knows his beer.
The new generation of Dodge Rams made an X-Ford owner out of me, and now Dodge has come up with this new Ram Miser. Beautiful inside and out. And Ram Miser gives Dodge the biggest increase in gasoline mileage of all full-size pickups. Hard to believe it's America's lowest priced pickup. Equipped, not stripped.
Dodge trucks are Ram tough.
Get $300 to $1,000 cash on select new Dodge cars and trucks. See participating dealers for complete details.
NBC Sports' strongest college basketball season ever. It's the flashy plays, the wild fans in the stands, the changing tides of emotion, and the miracle shots. Catch the school spirit on the home of great college basketball, NBC Sports.
They say this game is a game of inches. Watch how close Durking comes to the sideline on this touchdown run. Watch his right foot right now. Comes down just barely inbounds. And the people here in the Kingdome are watching a television screen in the Kingdome. They thought when he put that foot down on replay that it went out of bounds, but no. He was inbounds. It counts.
The Seahawks trailing for the first time. Eric Lane fields the kick, a step inside the goal line. 15, 20, and not much more than that. The Seahawks have had leads of 6-0, 13-6, then 13-9 at halftime. A week ago, they led Oakland 24-3 and lost.
They also had in that game 6 sacks, a fumble recovered for a touchdown, 2 other fumble recoveries, an interception, and they were leading, did you say 24-3 in the third quarter, and lost.
With the ball at their 21 and trailing 16-13, 13-10 and trailing 16-13, 13-10 to play. Dave Craig calls the signals. Second man out of the I formation, Theodis Brown, only a yard. Stopped by Stan Blinka and Mark Gastineau.
And boy, is that touchdown quieted this place down. We don't need microphones.
Another sellout crowd at the Kingdome, which is taken for granted here. It's been that way for years. But I doubt that 60,000 plus people can make less noise than this.
Excellent point.
I've heard it louder in church. Craig drops and hits Mike Tice, who makes his first reception from his tight end spot. Tice is a rookie from Maryland who last year was the Terrapins' starting quarterback. The Seahawks tried him out as an offensive lineman and then decided that he might be better off at tight end. That's quite a variety of positions.
I have to tell you, the more you can do, though, that's what they tell you in the professional ranks. If you can play several different positions. His brother is now the tight end for the Maryland Terrapins.
No, the quarterback, I believe.
No, he was
you're
the quarterback.
You're
his
right.
brother is the tight end. And when they told him that he was going to move to tight end, he called his brother in Maryland during training camp and said, how do I play this spot? What do I do?
You are correct. Mike Tice is 6'7" and 235. Size for a quarterback, a college quarterback at that. Well, that was a third down play, and they needed 4, and Gastineau stops Theodis Brown well short of that, and the Seahawks will have to punt.
Well, whatever Walt Michaels said at halftime, it must have made him an impression on the New York Jets, because they've certainly come out in the second half and played very well so far. Of course, the big turnover, the interception. The change anybody's mind.
Jeff West to punt. The Seahawks have had too many series in this game where it's been 3 downs and punt. Far too many. West with a high, not particularly long kick, which Harper makes a fair catch on at the 37-yard line of the Jets. So that stops the clock with 11:04 to play in the third quarter. The Jets have the 3-point lead and the ball. 36-yard punt by West. No return by Harper.
Watch out, winter's here, and snow's gonna get you, and cold's gonna get you, and high fuel bills are gonna get you, because you still haven't added more insulation to your attic. So do it now. Get more Owens Corning fiberglass insulation and add another layer to put your house in the pink. See your dealer or contractor. Buy more Owens Corning fiberglass insulation now, before winter gets you.
Food, clothes, just about everything seems to cost more today. One reason young families think they can't afford life insurance.
Allstate update, lower life insurance rates.
Now, Allstate's cut prices up to 20% on a lot of their life insurance. Like this $100,000 level term policy that now only costs a 28-year-old father about $19 a month. Before you buy, come in and compare. For life, home, or auto, you're in good hands with Allstate.
Crowd of just under 65,000, 38th consecutive home sellout for the Seahawks. And they are sitting on their hands right now.
Here's one for you. They have a group of people every time the Seahawks play in Seattle that come down from Alaska. They're great Seahawk boosters, and that's a trip. That's about the same distance from Seattle to Chicago.
Well, and perhaps they're too frostbitten to applaud.
Look at
Pass
this.
comes out to Kevin Long, and Long turns this into a first down gain to about the 48-yard line of Seattle. As we pause briefly for station identification, this is the NBC television network.
This is KING-TV, Channel 5, Seattle.
16 yards on the pass and run between Harper and Long. Bob Costas with Bob Trumpy. We've got 10:35 to play in the third quarter, and the Jets have taken their first lead of the game on a 15-yard touchdown run by Scott Dirking following a Jerry Holmes interception, 16-13. Long breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage and stumbles forward to about the 41 in the grasp of Manu Tuiasosopo.
What happened at halftime? 6 yards on that carry by Long, but the Seattle Seahawks have suddenly turned south with their defense. It's not controlling the line of scrimmage like they did in the first half, although I do believe the Jets have a lot more at stake, and therefore with some emotion I believe this is a little more what we expected out of the Jets in the first half.
A lot of young talent in that Seahawk defensive corps. 5 #1 draft choices, 2 #2s, and a #3 among their regulars. Long carries again, close to a first down. Let's see where they spot it when everybody unpeels. Gene Barth says first down, New York. 9.5 minutes to play in the quarter. In the fourth quarter, Tampa Bay leads Atlanta 17-16. Both those clubs 7-6. One of many alive for a wild card spot, and in the case of Tampa Bay, maybe a division title in the NFC. Kansas City scores and moves to within 3 of Denver in the third quarter at Mile High Stadium. James Hadnot, a 1-yard run with about 2 minutes to play in the third quarter for that Kansas City touchdown. First and 10 from the 37-yard line. Todd pumps once, looks back the other way. Long is wide open, makes a move inside. And inside the 30-yard line he goes before Michael Jackson tackles him.
7 yards on the catch by Long, and Richard Todd now has a great deal of time to throw the football. The steam seems to have gone out of the Seahawk defense. They're not blitzing like they were at the end of the first half. Look at 47 sitting there on the sideline. Got a good shot of the football game.
Sherman Smith. Second down and a long 2.
We can hear Richard Todd call the signals here.
I have seldom heard a stadium this quiet. I know we've mentioned it several times, but it's almost eerie in this place right now. Well, that wakes him up. Keith Butler busts into the backfield.
Finally a blitz, too. That's what they did in the first half, and it really upset the timing of the Jets offense. They went away from that in the opening moments of this second half. There you see Butler. Durkin trying to make the block on him, and he's right there with Newton to almost take the ball. Watch Butler. Great timing on the blitz, too. I would suggest that the New York Jets change their snap count, because Butler's done that 2 or 3 times now, and he is reading their snap count. They've got to come with another number, catch him off sides.
They lost 3, and it's 3rd and a long 5. 7:40 to play, 3rd quarter. Todd to the sideline, and it's off the hands of Durkin and incomplete. So this Jet drive is stymied. A Leahy field goal attempt coming up would be for about 49 yards. Word from the Seahawks sideline. Jacob Green has a thigh injury. Robert Hardy has a hip pointer, so that's half of their defensive front 4 on the sidelines right now, awaiting a further report.
So they have Doug Sutherland and Dennis Boyd in the defense.
Just about a 50-yard attempt for Leahy. Wide to the right and no good. Between 40 and 49 this year prior to this kick, Leahy was 8 of 11. 50 plus, he was 0 for 2. That was just about 50 yards on the nose. So the score remains the Jets 16, the Seahawks 13, with 7.5 minutes to play in the 3rd.
Introducing the 82 Dodge Aries K, America's highest mileage 6-passenger driving machine, with even better mileage than last year. Front-wheel drive and improved suspension for better performance than last year. But the most incredible news for 82 is what isn't new, the base model price. Still America's lowest priced, highest mileage 6-passenger front-wheel drive car. The 82 Dodge Aries K Coupe, America's driving machine. And on other select new Dodge cars and trucks, get $300 to $1,000 cash. See participating dealers for complete details.
Things move slowly when you take orders at each local office. But with telemarketing, you centralize through the Bell Network, the world's most advanced information management system. Orders flow to one office. You speed up your order cycle, speed up cash flow. You are already part of the network. Use it. Put our knowledge to work for you. The Information Management Network from Bell.
They're the hottest club in the AFC with a league-leading defensive line better known as the New York Sack Exchange. The Jets are smoking, but can the Cleveland Browns burst their bubble? Next Saturday, an NFL special. The Jets battle the Browns on NBC Sports.
And next week's Jet-Cleveland telecast starts at 12 noon Eastern Time on NBC. Trump?
Watch Leahy's left foot. That more than anything else will determine whether this field goal goes through. It appears that his foot is a little outside. That's a bad placement. Most people think that it comes off the kicking foot wrong, but that's not true. It is normally the placement of that left planting foot that determines whether the ball goes through or not. It was long enough, just a little bit wide, and that's a bad placement of his left foot.
Dave Craig with a first down pass. Holmes went for the interception, almost got it, but Dornink gathers it in. And Dan Dornink is down at the 41-yard line. They pick up 9.
Taking a chance. That's almost the same play that was intercepted at the beginning of the second half.
Well, if it pays off, he's gone for 6.
You're right.
Dornink had a big game in that Monday night encounter against San Diego a few weeks back.
I wonder if these people in the Kingdom here have had a busy weekend. Out late last night because they seem to have lost their steam. They're kind of sitting here very quietly waiting for something to happen.
Clock running with 6:50 to play in the quarter. Jets lead the Seahawks 16-13. Second down 1. And it's going to be 3rd and 1 coming up as Dornink is upended immediately. Time for an update. Let's check with Byron Day at NFL 81.
Okay, Bob, thank you very much. Out in San Diego, the Bills have just tied it all up. This play preceded the touchdown, a 48-yard strike. Joe Ferguson to Joe Cribbs. That set up a 2-yard touchdown plunge by Roosevelt Leaks. 21 all now in the 3rd quarter. Bob?
Thanks, Byron. It's 3rd down and 1 as we move down towards 6 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Tight formation, everybody in close on the line of scrimmage, including wide receiver Sam McCullum, closest to you, number 84. They give it to Dornink. He is close to the first down, and it looks like he's got it. He does. Blinka and Salam stopped him, but not soon enough.
Overall, the Seattle offense has played very well, but this second half, they really have not come out with any steam. You watch August and Tice Gastineau a little quick off the ball, kind of takes him out of the play a little bit, and a good block by 78 of the Seattle Seahawks, Bob Newton, on Abdul Salam, and that's just enough of a crack for Dornick to get up there for the first down.
Joe Walton paces the sidelines.
Ooh, Joe Klecko hurt.
Here's Klecko hobbling toward the sideline. We'll come back with a report on him after this.
Nowadays, there are all sorts of ways of saving and investing money that help fight inflation. The problem is finding the plan that's most profitable for you, because now you're forced to swim through a maze of confusing options. And you also have to think about the new individual retirement accounts. But there is a way to escape all this confusion. It's by calling or visiting your full-service bank. For professional guidance with your financial future, we've got the answers.
Behind every Schlitz is a man who knows his beer.
The people in St. Louis know their beer, but as a master brewer,
Schlitzer.
Thank you. I know one taste of my Schlitz can change a lot of minds, and now more people know.
I like Schlitz better than Bud.
I'm a Miller drinker, but you have to taste Schlitz to believe it.
Mr. Sillinger, your Schlitz tastes good. It's a good tasting beer.
Here's to it.
Behind every Schlitz is a man who knows his beer.
And they're working on the ankle now of Joe Klecko.
He has been held sackless today. He is the NFL leader, along with Gastineau, I believe, both now at 18.
Quite a job that the likes of Newton and August and Essink and Boyd and people like that have done on this Jet front four, protecting the young quarterback, Dave Craig. Now he goes to the air, whips it out sidearm, and they pick up about 6 on the play as Dornick makes the catch. You know, it looked like it would really be a baptismal under fire for Craig, and it is to a certain extent, but they have kept the sack exchange off his back as much as could be expected.
You know, at times, though, that might help an offensive line, knowing a young rookie out of Milton College is in there, realizing that they have to play over and above what they normally play. Zorn is a very active quarterback and usually avoid the pass rush. Mr. Klecko.
Twisted ankle is the word, and they expect him back before the game is over. Theodis Brown on 2nd down and 4. He's not going to be able to turn the corner. They drag him down. Mel was there, and Blinka got there too.
Excellent job, too. Watch from the end zone here. This is exactly the way you want your defense to play. To string the play out, use the sideline as best you can, and then hope that the pursuit catches up. Now, from the defense, watch everybody pursue along the line of scrimmage. All 3 linebackers. Blinka, you see Mel out there, and you also see Buttle on the backside. And the first opportunity that Mel has to get up through the blockers, he's there to make the tackle. Both linebackers in on the tackle.
They lost 2. It's 3rd down and 6 from the 47 with 4:35 to play 3rd quarter. Craig steps up into the pocket, completes his pass. Largent makes the catch, and is he ever belted by Greg Buttle? But Largent is a tough little guy at 5'11 and 184. He's a lot like Pat Tilley of the St. Louis Cardinals in that respect. Little guys who will go over the middle to make the catch and will hold it despite taking a very vicious lick.
He comes from way on the backside of this formation, and that is a fine, fine catch. He's all the way on the other side of the field. Obviously zone coverage by the linebacker. Once he comes across that zone, has the ability to spin around, make the catch, and absorb the flow.
And a 1st down at the Jet 42. Play fake. Swing it out to Theodis Brown. Theodis still on his feet and then out of bounds.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, he had all kinds of running room if he could have stayed in.
You are absolutely correct. Largent had the defensive back way deep, and if he could have stayed in bounds, he could have probably run it into the end zone. Now, the New York Jets, once again, are being lulled to sleep by the Seattle Seahawks. Watch this. Largent just kind of ambling down the sideline. He's got Jesse Johnson right there, and the play is being run behind him, and Jesse Johnson doesn't even know it.
They get 5, and it's 2nd and 5 at the 37 with 3:46 left. Largent to the left and McCullum to the right. Dornick and Brown on the backs. Come on, Mark! Craig flips it out of there to Dornick. Makes a nice move, busts some tackles. He's at the 29-yard line. That's a first down and a gain of 8.
Flacco is back in the ball game, and now Mark Gastineau of the Jets is getting up slowly.
One of the Seagulls there along the sideline.
Watch Gastineau on the left side of your screen. He manages to get in right on the quarterback, but somehow sprains his ankle or something, but he appears to be all right. Underneath the linebacker coverage, and then a great job by Dornick, who is a med student. Good reception, good tough running, too. Big first down.
Exactly 3 minutes on the clock. Again, McCullum right and Largent left. This time the back's in the eye. Largent in motion at the snap. They give the ball to Theotis. Brown busts straight up the middle. Theotis down to the 10.
Yards on this run, and they're taking advantage of Abdul Salam and Ben Rudolph up through the middle. It's a good man-on-man blocking, and Brown is deep enough in the backfield that he can adjust to the blocking scheme. And then the linebackers, there's no linebacker there to, you see 3 of the 4 Jet defensive backs there to make the tackle, and you don't want that to happen. First down and 10 at the 10. And Mr. Michaels is now once again very, very worried about his defense.
Theotis Brown goes out at least briefly, and Sherman Smith comes in to replace him. Craig to Largent, 5-yard line, about the 3 before he's driven out.
Here's one for you. Dave Craig has completed 18 passes now in a row with that completion to Largent. 3 of them for interceptions. But 18 passes
come on, Trump. It doesn't go in the record book that way.
Well, they were open, though. Once again, Seattle just able to do almost anything that they want on this drive. And the Jet defense seems to play one drive very well. And the next drive not too good. Largent now just 5 yards from his 4th straight 1,000-yard receiving season.
Second and goal, the ball outside the 2-yard line. There's Largent in motion. Dornick struggles to the 1 and maybe inside that. They'll be less than a yard away from the touchdown with 3rd down upcoming. They trail it by 3. 1:45 to play 3rd quarter.
And as you look at that picture right there, the Jet defensive linemen and defensive players don't seem to be in control of this game. Watch from the end zone. The blocking scheme of the Seattle offense. Lead block up through there by Theotis Brown. And it appears, who did make that tackle? Darrell Ray was part of it.
Ken Schroy, I think, 48.
Ken Schroy in on it also. That's in danger. That record right there, 3 TDs.
3rd and goal inside the 1-yard line. Dornick and Brown are the backs. Craig keeps it. He's there. Touchdown. Designed that way, Trump, or did he turn around, see something he didn't like, and just head back?
No, I believe it was a design play. I don't believe there was... It may have been between the center and himself. Nothing more than that. He doesn't look around. I think his number 1 intention is just a quarterback draw. Right on Salam, 74. No. And believe me, there are times when a quarterback will just tap the center on the cheek. And only those 2 guys know that it's a quarterback sneak for a touchdown. The extra point, good.
I believe that somebody got a hand on Wilson Alvarez's kick, but it fluttered through. Alvarez has been a bit less than impressive, but he got the job done that time. And Dave Craig and the Seahawks have the lead.
This Christmas, I'm giving my wife something special. Warren Beatty. Am I crazy? Nah. This is an RCA video disc. I put it in an RCA video disc player, and I can give my wife her favorite movie. Or my kids, the Muppets. Or me, Rocky, James Bond, Airplane, or 100 more. And the player costs less than $500. And next Christmas, I can ask for Chinatown.
Buy the player now and get $50 direct from RCA. Plus, a special 10-day money-back offer is available at participating RCA dealers.
Sorry. No experience, no job.
But where do I get the experience?
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines.
We don't ask for experience.
We give it.
You won't read it in a book.
You live it.
Pick a service, pick a challenge, set yourself apart.
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. What a great place. It's a great place to start.
They're the hottest club in the AFC with a league-leading defensive line better known as the New York Sack Exchange. The Jets are smoking, but can the Cleveland Browns burst their bubble? Next Saturday, an NFL special. The Jets battle the Browns on NBC Sports.
And that Jet-Browns telecast begins at 12 noon Eastern Time next Saturday on NBC. As you can see, Jack Patera on the right, overcome with joy over the Seahawks lead.
6-minute and 26-second drive there by the Seattle Seahawks. Their best drive, obviously, of the afternoon.
Alvarez kicks into the arms of Harper at the 5. Has to battle to get to the 20. The Seahawk kick coverage has been very, very good this afternoon. 14-yard return for Harper.
It is now squarely on the shoulders of the Jet offense to keep the ball for a while. With just 55 seconds left in the third quarter. Look at this, 6:27. A quarterback draw or keeper play there. 12 plays, 68 yards.
They are awfully proud in Wisconsin about Dave Craig from Milton College. Actually, Dave Craig from Milton College. Actually, Tiny Milton has sent 7 different players to the NFL at one time or another. Jerking carries for good yardage on first down. However, Craig, who is now in his second NFL season, has stayed the longest. So no Milton player has really been an NFL star. But to have 7 players from a school which has only 243 boys among their full-time enrollment, as San Diego, riding the seesaw, gets the lead back in their game with Buffalo, and Atlanta reclaims the lead against Tampa Bay. The Denver-Kansas City score stays as it was a while ago. To have 7 players from a school that tiny go to the NFL is quite an accomplishment. Todd to the air on second down, and Jerking can't hold it. Would have been a first down if he had.
The New York Jets today have really played without emotion. Seattle's had several opportunities, and that last drive that they had was the best drive they had all day. Well, Michael's got to be very, very upset with his team, knowing that Miami has won, and they stand at 9-4-1. The Jets are in pursuit. There's Joe Walton, also very upset with the performance of his team.
Looks like he's working on a headache down there.
It's a long ride back to New York if you're on the short end of the score.
Gaffney and Bobby Jones both go out to the left side on third down and 4. 14 seconds to play third quarter. Todd is well protected. His pass is incomplete, again intended for Durkin.
All day long, the Seahawks have kept the New York Jets from throwing the ball to their wide receivers. They have very few receptions. In fact, I believe they only have 1. So the running backs all day long have been the big weapon for the New York Jets, and that one was a poorly thrown ball by Richard Todd.
And again, for those who may just be joining us, the Jets are without Wesley Walker. His calf injury left him behind in New York. What Chuck Ramsey has done thus far today. That does not include the one he never got off. If the snap was high and he couldn't handle it, that one is nearly blocked. It's fielded by Paul Johns. Johns to the 45 and about the 47-yard line of the Seahawks. A 38-yard punt by Ramsey, a 9-yard return by Johns. The Seahawks have the lead at 20-16 and the ball, and we have reached the end of the third quarter.
Ken Easley again almost on the block. They have not stopped that outside rusher all day long.
And we'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Tuesday, the children are trapped in the workhouse.
Need a doctor now.
Can Murphy and guest star Jack Elam rescue them? Then the railroad's coming to Sweetwater and plowing right through Maverick's Ranch. Then Lane is torn between her father and the man she loves on Flamingo Road. It's an all-new Tuesday on NBC.
Sooner or later, everyone has to face retirement. Even Dexter Horton. But before I give up this role, I want to talk about Seattle First individual retirement accounts that let you shelter up to $4,000 of income a year, tax deferred. Stop in at any Seattle First branch and talk to an IRA expert. Because no matter what you roll, it won't last forever.
For elegant dining or holiday gift-giving, treat someone else or yourself to this Corningware French white cook set. Now just $11.88 as the True Value Hardware Store's bargain of the month. Both the 2.5-quart covered casserole and the matching 10-inch pie plate will stay beautiful through years of use. And right now, this Corningware French white 3-piece cook set is just $11.88 while supplies last at True Value Hardware Stores and home centers displaying this banner.
Watch King 5 News tonight at 11.
This is Byron Day in New York. In San Diego, the Bills are down by 3, but they're driving. Joe Ferguson completing this 24-yard pass to Frank Lewis. They're threatening. In the third quarter, they're still behind 24-21 to San Diego.
The condition of that gentleman, Jim Zorn's ankle, has opened the doors for Dave Craig. And the pride of Milton College has the Seahawks in front and driving again. 20-16. This is the first play of the fourth quarter. The play fake. Steps up. And it's dropped by Sam McCullum, but it was a perfectly thrown ball in the midst of several defenders.
First of all, initial observation, Joe Klecko, even though he's out there for the New York Jets, limping badly. Now watch McCullum. This is very, very poor coverage by Jesse Johnson. He gives him too much of a cushion. Now McCullum is a quick receiver, there's no doubt about that, but he gets him turned inside, which is the #1 mistake that you do not want any defensive back to make. And this should have been a reception. The ball is right there, although Johnson has the ability to make up the ground. That should have been a reception. Well thrown by Craig, too. You got to admire this kid, you know, coming from absolutely nowhere.
Well, evidently he learned his lessons well under Coach Rudy Godini at Milton and has continued under Jack Patera and his staff here. Signed as a free agent, made their ball club. Dornick will carry for a loss. They lose 3, 3rd and 13 coming up. Abdul Salam made the play. Let's check with Byron Day in New York.
Bob, in San Diego, we just showed you a pass by Joe Ferguson that put the Bills in scoring position. Now here's the touchdown play. Joe Cribbs running in from a yard out. The Bills regain the lead, 28-24, now in the third quarter.
Okay, thanks, Byron. We've got 14:25 to play in this one here from the 45-yard line of the Seahawks. 3rd and 13 coming up. Paul Johns is in as the third wide receiver. Kirk Springs is in as the Jet nickelback. Craig is in big trouble as he retreats. Theodis Brown with the catch and quickly dumped. They lose 4 on that play.
But you know, he did have good protection. The defensive ends, Gastineau and Klecko, could not get to him. He was giving ground to set up the screen. And watch Klecko. He shows the effects of that bad ankle. He is on Essink right there. There's Gastineau on August. And he's got plenty of time to throw it. That's just a good job by Jesse Johnson diagnosing the play. Punt by Jeff West.
Jeff West meets it. Bruce Harper calls for a fair catch and takes it at the 25-yard line. A 35-yard punt by West. The fair catch by Harper. Jet ball with 13:40 left, and their 5-game winning streak in jeopardy against their nemesis, the Seahawks.
This is the automatic Olympus OM2. OM2, top of a new world of single-lens reflexes. Sophisticated, precise, world's first camera to measure light off the film for electronically accurate exposures. The revolutionary OM2. Olympus, camera of professionals, of all who demand no less than excellence. Take no pictures less than great. Olympus OM2, excellence by design.
What's a nice new personal car doing out here? This is the new Dodge 400. The cockpit says personal luxury, but here's the difference. Front-wheel drive, rack and pinion steering, McPherson struts, electronically controlled engine, and another extraordinary difference, extraordinary mileage. Dodge 400 is no ordinary personal luxury car.
It's a personal driving machine.
I want a driving machine.
Dodge 400, America's personal driving machine.
Thursday, Hill is teamed with an emotionally disturbed partner.
Okay, man.
But risked his career in a cover-up.
It was reasonable and necessary. It's a lie, Bobby.
Hill Street Blues.
Back in the Kingdome, still plenty of time left for the Jets to get back on top and stay on top, but not too soon to ask the question, what is it that these Seahawks have going for them against the Jets?
I think historically the Seattle Seahawks have been a team that are able to lull their opponents almost to sleep, and then they come up with a great play like Steve Largent made just a few minutes ago on that pass reception. They've always been a big play team with Jim Zorn, Largent. When they had Sherman Smith healthy, how many times did you see him catching the ball out of the backfield? And you just, I don't know, you never really get the feeling against Seattle that they're doing anything to you. And all of a sudden you look up at the scoreboard and bam, they got you. This is a fine football team. They're a long way from being a contender each and every year, but they've got the people there with individual talent that can make them a great team. They just got to play together more.
They had those back-to-back 9.
They just got to play together more.
They had those back-to-back 9 and 7 years in 78 and 79, and slumped very badly last year, and this year off to a 4-9 start. Todd on second down lays it right into the arms of Johnny Lamb Jones, who is in Seahawk territory at the 43.
See, that's another thing I don't understand. The Seahawks in one series, they're all over the wide receivers. That's just the second catch by a New York Jet wide receiver, 30 yards on that reception by Jones. And in one series, they're outstanding in coverage. In the next series, there's nobody within 5 yards of Jones there. I can't put my finger on what the difference is. Easily on the tackle. First down, Jets.
12.5 minutes to play in the ball game. Lamb Jones goes out.
First and 10 at the 43.
Just one wide receiver. They have two tight ends, Schuler and Barkham in. The lone wide receiver is Gaffney. He's off to the left side. The first down handoff goes to Kevin Long, and Long is slapped down by Kerry Justin, number 26. There's also a flag on the play.
I'm afraid that's going to be on Mickey Schuler. Right into the New York Jets. That is the back judge's #1 responsibility. Watch the tight end, and when he throws the flag that quickly and that distance, it is usually on the tight end.
After a penalty-filled first half, we haven't seen many flags in the second half.
Number 82 offense, holding, still first down.
He called it, Trump. First and 20 as the ball is pushed back to the 47-yard line of New York. 20-16, the Seahawks lead it. 12-12 to play in the game. Bobby and Lamb Jones each out to the left side. Now that's Harper setting up on the right. Out to the air on first and 20. Swings it out to Long, squirts through his hands like a bar of soap. Second and 20.
And the Jets are conceding that the Seahawks downfield are covering the receivers. I mean, they make no attempt to look down the field whatsoever.
And now it's Tampa Bay's turn to lead in this ball game. Doug Williams to Kevin House. And is Kevin House some young wide receiver? Not too well known on a national level. He catches a 71-yard touchdown pass. That's with 9.5 minutes to play in the game at Tampa Bay. 24-23 the Bucs over the Falcons. Both teams 7-6 coming into that game. As you watch from the end zone on 2nd and 20. Todd, lots of time. Does he have a receiver? He does. Bruce Harper. Harper down to the 35-yard line. And that's going to leave them about 2 yards short of the first down.
Keith Butler, number 53 of the Seahawks, had a busy day all day. He's had a lot of coverage on Bruce Harper. You see there, picks him up right at the line of scrimmage. Todd has the time to throw the ball right over Butler's head. Harper makes the reception, but just a yard or so short of the first down.
They got 18 on the play.
Still, though, Seattle has done a good job in shutting down the wide receivers, the guys that are normally the game breakers so far today.
Doug Sutherland, number 69, is in the ballgame now for the Seahawks. As we mentioned earlier, both Robert Hardy and Jacob Green had been shaken up earlier. Durking didn't get it. Now they're faced with an interesting fourth down decision. What would you do?
They've got to go for it.
There's 11:25 remaining.
Here's Newton sitting on the wing. And once again, it appears that the snap count by the New York Jets didn't fool Seattle whatsoever. And Butler is in there. There's a hold on Kerry Justin, number 26, that they didn't call. And it appears the Jets are going to go for the first down on 4th and 1.
Trailing by 4 as we move down to 11 minutes. Green and Hardy both out. Mike White and Doug Sutherland in on the left side of the defensive front four for the Seahawks. Manu Tuiasosopo and Fred Anderson on the right side. The Jets ask for a timeout. They want to talk this play over with 10:56 remaining and the score. The Seahawks 20 and the Jets 16.
Yeah, but he's saying that the other team asked for a timeout. Richard Todd is saying that the other team asked for a timeout. New York is going to be charged for it. But I believe what he was kind of lobbying with the official there is that he saw somebody on the defensive side call timeout. But the thing is, there are only normally one guy that can call timeout on either side of the line of scrimmage.
Behind every Schlitz is a man who knows his beer.
The people here in California know their beer. In fact, beer is a big part of their Oktoberfest. Schlitz, please. And for our master brewer, the final test is a beer drinker's taste.
I think Schlitz tastes a little better than Bud. It's nice and mellow. I like it. I'm impressed. This Schlitz really tastes good.
Mr. Sellinger, I'll go with your Schlitz.
I knew you would.
Behind every Schlitz is a man who knows his beer.
These babies cost over $300,000, and quarries are tough on their engines. So Fram designed a special double air filter to protect them. Now we've designed a double filter for cars. It's the Fram Extra Life. Inside a normal filter, outside an extra filter. It lasts 50% longer than our old Fram filter, but it doesn't cost any more. So why not get one to protect your car? It may not have cost you $300,000, but it's still a big investment.
The Fiesta Bowl. Heisman Trophy winner Marcus Allen battles Joe Paterno's Penn State defense, followed by the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl, plus a primetime battle for the national championship as undefeated #1 Clemson University goes for its first title ever, New Year's Day.
Walt Michaels feels the same way as Richard Todd does. He thinks that the Seahawks signaled for a timeout. The Jets shouldn't have been charged with one. The officials don't agree. Now it's 4th and a yard and a half. Harper and Long are the backs. They'll throw for it. And they won't get it. Nearly intercepted by Kenny Easley, but he knocked it down, and that's good enough. The Jets are stopped. Easley has not intercepted a pass yet in this, his rookie season, the Seahawks' first-round draft choice, but he has done just about everything else very well.
Seahawks did a very smart thing in that situation. To this point in a football game, you've seen linebacker coverage on those offensive backs out of the backfield. That time, they used the safety in coverage, and Easley is a lot quicker than those linebackers, and he was there to knock the ball away.
Well, the Jets had 4th and a yard and a half. A field goal try would have been a very long one, and even if successful, would have left them down by a point. They could have tried to punt for the coffin corner, but that would have been tough, too. They elected to go for it. They were denied. Now Dave Craig back with 10:51 remaining. Gives the ball to Theodis Brown. Fumble! The Jets have it. Klecko recovered it. Well, in a manner of speaking, the Jets do get their first down.
I think Ron Crosby, number 55 of the Jets, was the guy on the hit. You'll see Crosby come from the outside. No, I take that back. I think it's Lance Mel, 56. But anyway, they were covered by Klecko, and you're right. First down, New York Jets. And I still can't believe how quiet the Kingdome is. Amazing.
Bobby Jones goes out wide to the left. Johnny Lamb Jones in the slot inside of it. Tom Newton for about 5 straight ahead to the 30. Clock running with 10:35 remaining. Fred Anderson and Ken Easley combining on the tackle. And here's a look at what remains for the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills. The Jets seem to have the easier schedule. Miami still has to play Kansas City and finish with Buffalo. Buffalo has New England left, but a tough game with Miami. Each of the remaining games for the Bills are on the road. They're battling right now at San Diego, and that one is by no means a sure victory for the Bills.
69, Doug Sutherland made that play. He disrupted the timing of the offense. He was right on Dan Alexander, made penetration across the line of scrimmage. Of course, he was with Minnesota at the same time Jack Patero was. Good, experienced defensive lineman.
Patera coached the original fearsome foursome, Lundy and Greer and Jones and Olson. Also the Purple People Eaters later in the late 60s and early 70s. Page, Eller, Marshall, and Larson at Minnesota. Movement along the line. We get flags. Might be a free play for the Jets. Todd's pass deflected into the arms of Barkham. Barkham is down to the 1-yard line. But let's see what the penalty is.
The penalty is Fred Anderson, 63, offsides. Stepped into the neutral zone.
Defense offside. Penalty refused.
Play will count. Last year, you realized that would not have been a reception. It couldn't tip from the hands of one offensive player to another offensive player. Now it does. 30 yards on the pass, tip. Oh, I think it was hit by a defensive man. And the
I believe
catch.
Harris touched it, Trump.
Jerome Barkham down to the 1-yard line. How about that? There you see Anderson jump off sides. That means it's a free play. And Barkham all the way. I don't think this is the way they drew the play up. But nevertheless, they will certainly take it. First and goal at the 1.
With 9:25 to play in the game and the Jets trailing by 4. They need a victory to stay even with Miami atop the AFC East. Todd's going to throw on first down. Touchdown. Kevin Long makes the catch. Surprising call, but it works.
Now the Kingdom is really quiet.
Some hard feelings down there along the line of scrimmage as well.
You got to feel that if the New York Jets get out of here with a victory to keep pace with the Miami Dolphins, they will breathe a big sigh of relief. Watch these two guys on the outside. You know what their job is? To screen defensive players, which if they get caught is illegal.
For Kevin Long, his 4th touchdown of the year. 1 running, 3 receiving.
The always exciting extra point here in the Kingdom.
Perfect by Leahy this time. 9:21 remaining in the 4th quarter at the Kingdom in Seattle. Watch it again as Todd hits Long for the go-ahead touchdown. And the score, the Jets 23, the Seahawks 20.
Good service is no big thing. It's a million little things. That's why every Avis car gets 9 safety checks, 7 comfort checks, and 6 cleanliness checks. Matter of fact, the average Avis car is better maintained than the average family car. See, Avis knows good service is making a big deal about little things. Right? Trying harder is still the best way to do business.
Radio Shack makes Christmas dreams come true. Perfect for your little fireman or policeman. Our fire helmet or road patrol helmet for only $7.99. And to make the dream complete, an exciting battery-powered safe police car or fire engine for only $6.99. Easily programmed for 6 driving maneuvers, including straight, zigzag, circle, or square. Clever gifts for your kids at affordable prices. Only at Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
They're the hottest club in the AFC with a league-leading defensive line better known as the New York Sack Exchange. The Jets are smoking, but can the Cleveland Browns burst their bubble? Next Saturday, an NFL special. The Jets battle the Browns on NBC Sports.
And the New York-Cleveland telecast begins next Saturday at 12 noon Eastern Time on NBC, and that will be the lone announcer game. Dick Enberg will work that one solo. Another interesting experiment. After thinking about it, Eric Lane decides to bring it out and justifies the move by getting a few yards across the 20-yard line. Well, that's interesting. One announcer on the game. Last year, when they had the no-announcer game, at the end of the year between the Jets and the Dolphins, both play-by-play men and color men were concerned. This year, the play-by-play men feel fine because Enberg will be in the booth. But, Trump, how do the color men feel?
Doesn't bother me in the least. Next year, I fully expect to have them an experiment with 3 guys in the booth, then 4, then 5, then without the executive producer. I mean, we'll just go on down the line until we find a happy medium, right? A combination that everyone likes.
First and 10 at the 23. Certainly hope you're still here. Craig drops back, looks, throws. Largent makes yet another catch. Largent at the 43-yard line.
I believe for sure he's now over 1,000 yards for the 4th straight season, and 19 yards on that catch. I believe it's his 5th on the day. And it's absolutely amazing. 1,014 yards now. Look at the precision of this pattern. Goes down there. Oh, he beats Jesse Johnson badly. Ball is well thrown, too, by Craig. Nothing wrong with throwing that ball like that. And Seattle has that capacity. You know, they just kind of dink around, and bam, big play by Largent.
8.5 left. Seahawks trail by 3. Craig with time. Airs one out long for Largent. He's got it! Touchdown, Seattle!
For Steve Largent on the day, 161 yards, make that 171 yards, and this ball is on the money by Dave Craig. I mean, laces up on the right foot. Steve Largent, that was special delivery.
For Largent, his 7th touchdown reception, his 8th touchdown overall on the season. 57 big yards. Alvarez for the point after, which has been an adventure all day. This is his best effort, splits the uprights perfectly.
So Craig throws 2 touchdowns, runs for 1, has 3 interceptions. Not a bad day in his first start ever.
Seahawks 27. And the Jets 23, and they even got a smile out of Jack Patera on the sideline. With 8:21 remaining, we'll come back to Seattle right after this.
On a night like this, you don't need a car. You need a driving machine. 1982 Dodge Aries K Wagon with front-wheel drive for superb traction. Rack and pinion steering for quick response. Electronic fuel control to go a long way between stops when there's no place to stop. But what makes this 6-passenger driving machine truly exceptional? Price. Dodge Aries K, America's driving machine.
Get $300 to $1,000 cash on select new Dodge cars and trucks. See participating dealers for complete details.
Some people thought it was risky to taste test my Schlitz against other top beers on live TV. But not our people here at Schlitz. We figured a lot of beer drinkers would pick Schlitz over their beer. And they did. Second hopping, Russ?
Right.
In my 40 years as a master brewer, I've never been more proud of my people or my beer. Looking good, Mike?
Very good, Frank.
Sure, we're pleased, but we're working harder. We'll keep brewing great beer, so more of you will keep choosing it. Taste our Schlitz.
Well, the Seagulls and everybody else among the better than 60,000 here have good reason to cheer now. 27-23, Seattle up, and Alvarez boots. A short kick, which Harper fields at the 15, 20, 25, and not quite to the 30. Largent's reception yardage today, we're told, represents a career high. Officially, he has caught 7 for 169 yards and a touchdown. Dave Craig has thrown for 252 yards. And earlier in the game, I speculated that he might not quite have the zip on the ball that some other quarterbacks do. Upon reflection and upon further evidence, I am forced to retract that statement.
I'll tell you what, though, the impressive part of that pass was the finesse in which he used to get the ball right on the money to Steve Largent.
Richard Todd, coincidentally, has thrown for exactly the same total of yards, 252, as Craig. Here's Todd rolling out, falling down. Hard to tell, incomplete. Bobby Jones spikes the ball right in front of the watchful eye of the official, who does not hit him with the unsportsmanlike conduct flag.
If he had caught that ball and spiked it, it would have been a delay of game.
Well, it's okay to be happy. Not okay to be happy in that instance, but okay in this case to be displeased.
Say what?
Forget it. I'm sorry I ever brought it up.
2nd and 10.
8:08 left from the 29-yard line of the Jets.
I'm sure Jim Zorn, sitting up here in the booth watching this football game, wondering about his injury now with the performance of Mr. Craig.
Richard Todd with his club down by 4 has it dropped by Kevin Long. 3rd and 10.
Bob, I got to tell you, I believe emotionally the New York Jets are just about spent. They just show no real. Watch this. This is on the money. Should have been caught. No reason. for that ball to be dropped. When it goes bad for everybody.
Derek Gaffney checks in with the play from the sideline.
How many times over the last few years have you seen Seattle, though, come up with a big play like that? They have historically been one of the best big play teams there is in the NFL.
The Chargers, the Broncos, the Steelers, and the Jets, contenders all among their victims this year. Todd got his first down with the catch made by Johnny Lamb Jones.
Interesting, too, that must have been a busted play because Derek Gaffney was standing about 4 yards in front of Lamb Jones. 19 yards on that catch. Plenty of time to throw the football. Good protection up front. And watch Gaffney jump up. And if he'd made contact with it, wouldn't have been a reception. And Jones there to make the catch easily on the tackle.
Lamb Jones has had a big day in the absence of the injured Wesley Walker. The Jets are also riddled by injuries in their secondary. Jackson on injured reserve. Dykes and Lynn out of the lineup today. Dave Craig has riddled them for 252. Todd fires long. Intercepted by Dave Brown.
Mike White got in the face of Richard Todd, and Todd really couldn't follow through on the throw. The ball was somewhat underthrown. Dave Brown there to make the interception. Watch Mike White, number 70, just get there just in enough time so that Richard Todd really can't follow through. And if he can't follow through, it takes some of the steam off the football. And the responsibility of the receiver is to try to make sure it's not an interception. Jones tries, but it's an excellent job by Dave Brown to hang on to the football. Not much of a move, just a fly pattern. And the interception. Seattle's ball once again. Here we go.
Well, with 7:10 left, if Dave Craig can engineer a time-consuming drive here, he would really put the Jets' backs up against the wall. His club leads by 4. Craig rolls to the left on a naked bootleg. 30, 35, across the 40. Sam McCullum was the only guy out in front of him. And he threw an excellent block to key a 28-yard run.
Well, you got to admire this kid. First start, he doesn't appear to be nervous about it at all. He obviously fakes out Joe Klecko. Good fake by Theodis Brown. And then it's a foot race. 3 rushes now, 35 yards for Craig. 1 touchdown and 2 thrown. That's not a bad beginning for a young man's career. I don't care how big the college was that he came from.
From the 46-yard line of the Seahawks with 7:01 left. And Sherman Smith carries to midfield. A gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. 6:50 and the clock running. The Seahawks have all 3 of their timeouts left. The Jets had to use one, which they disputed. They didn't think they actually had called it, but they did earlier in this 4th quarter, so they now have 2 timeouts left. Buffalo now regaining the lead 28-27 in the 4th quarter at San Diego. Obviously a crucial game for both those clubs. 6:20 left. Smith again for about 3. They leave them with 3rd and 3. Miami beat New England. And what does that leave New England at? 2 and 12, something like that. Beat them earlier. 2 and 12, that's right. 9, 4 and 1 for the Dolphins, of more importance to the Jets. So they have to win here today, the Jets do, to stay even with Miami.
Give me an idea of just how good Mr. Craig has been today. After his last interception, he's completed 10 straight passes. That's amazing. And he's just a rookie. The backup quarterback for 5 years for Jim Zorn has been Sam Atkins. And Jack Patera chooses Dave Craig.
Sherman Smith battling for first down yardage.
The Seahawks all day long have absolutely neutralized the New York Sack Exchange, kept out of that situation where Gastineau, Klecko, Abdul Salam, and the rest of those people can just pin their ears back. And it appears right now that the Jets have no idea what the Seattle offense is going to do. And if you can put a split second of indecision as you look at that final score, Denver over Kansas City 16-13. If you can put a split second of indecision in a defensive lineman's mind, you've won the battle at the line of scrimmage, because they don't know what you're going to do next. Hands on hips, wondering what's going to happen now.
Denver in good shape now in that AFC West. They'd be in even better shape if Buffalo holds on to beat San Diego. First down carry again by Sherman Smith. Ron Crosby was among the tacklers. They get about 2, 2nd and 8 coming up at the 40, but the clock is still moving. 4:28 remaining. The Jets have never beaten the Seahawks. They are 0-5 against them in their history. They have never come any closer to them than a touchdown in those 5 losses. They were beaten 19-3 at Shea Stadium earlier this year by the Seahawks. The only loss for the Jets in their last 10 games. Since that game, they have won 5 in a row and look like, along with Cincinnati, the hottest club in the league. Cincinnati lost today to San Francisco. Does the same fate await the Jets? We'll know in a while. Craig is in big trouble. He evades the sack. He throws on the run. McCollum makes the catch. What in the name of Frank Merriwell is this kid up to?
Well, I tell you one thing. He's obviously having a very good time. And when you can play and it's fun for you, you'd be surprised some of the performances that guys that you don't expect to come out there and be such brilliant performers. How about that? Isn't that something? Watch Gastineau, 99. This is the price that the quarterback must pay eventually. Gets him on the ground, but nevertheless, 1st and 10, the Seattle Seahawks trying to extend their lead now over the New York Jets.
27-23 with 3:08 left. Flag flies as Sherman Smith stutter steps his way for a yard or 2. We'll come back and sort out the penalty in a minute, but first here's Byron Day in New York.
Bob, in Denver, there were 4 seconds left when Nick Lowry lined up to try a 57-yard field goal to tie the ball game up. It was wide to the right. They lost the ball game. Denver on top 16-13. Bob?
Well, Nick Lowry, Trump, is the kind of guy who could possibly hit one from as far away as 57.
Bob, there is someone down.
Offense, still first down.
There is someone down on the Jet sideline, and it appears that I can't tell who it is.
Our view is shielded. It's right about at the 45-yard line of the Jets.
He appears to be totally out, too, whoever the player is.
We'll try and find out who it is, but as you can see, we are shielded. The Jets lost 5 on the last penalty call, pushing them, rather the Seahawks did, pushing them back to the 33-yard line where it's 1st and 15. Lance Mell is the Jet player who is down and being looked at along the sideline. A 4-yard gain for Sherman Smith on that carry, stopped by Stan Blinken. The word we received from New York is that immediately after this ball game is over at the Kingdome, we'll switch you to San Diego for the conclusion of the Bills-Chargers game. So don't go anywhere once this one is over. Clock is running. 2:27 left. 2nd and 12. Sherman Smith again. Now 3rd and long coming up. We'll get the 2-minute warning before the next snap, and the Jets have 2 timeouts remaining. So if they can stop the Seahawks on the next play, they will have the ball back somewhere, somehow, with a little bit less than 2 minutes to either win it or tie it. 2-minute warning, and we'll come back right after this. All right, the Jets trail by 4 with 2 minutes remaining. 3rd and 9 coming up for the Seahawks at the New York 27. If they stop the Seahawks here, they have the possibility of getting the ball back with a chance to win it with a touchdown. If Wilson Alvarez can connect on a field goal, they would still have a chance to tie. They would be down by 7 when they got possession back. Alvarez, quite frankly, has not been the most effective place kicker in the world since rejoining the Seahawks after the Herrera injury. He is 1 of 3 on field goal attempts, and the only one he made was about 25 yards. 3rd down 9, biggest play of the day. Theodis Brown carries and is stopped. Now the Jets evidently are going to take a timeout, and they are. That will leave them with 1.
Bob, 2 possibilities here. 1, the way this football game has gone for the Seahawks, I would fully expect if the Seahawks do kick the field goal that Alvarez would probably make it. That would be the fitting conclusion of this game with the beginning of Mr. Craig. Secondly, though, with Jack Patera on the sideline for the Seahawks, you can never tell what they're going to do on special teams. This is always seems to be their best position. They throw passes off this. They run guys in motion. And if Jack Patera has enough confidence in his defense to hold New York, he may try something funny.
But what about the possibility of just simply going for it on 4th and 7?
With the Jets with 1 timeout left, not a bad idea.
Let's pause briefly for station identification while they talk it over on the NBC television network.
This is KING-TV, Channel 5, Seattle.
We'd like to welcome those viewers who have just joined us. The Jets-Seahawks ball game still in progress with the score Seattle 27 and the Jets 23. We are going to go to the conclusion of the Buffalo-San Diego game after this one is over with at the Kingdome in Seattle.
They are still administering to Lance Mel on the sideline down there on the Jets sideline. They're taking him off on a stretcher. Let's see what happens here, Mr. Alvarez.
Could be a 43-yarder if they kick it. Largent holding at the 33. They kick it away, and it's blocked. The ball is loose. The Jets are going to have it. The ball's still squirting around. Alvarez winds up with it, which is the last thing he had in mind. And fearing for his life, he's dragged down. Mark Gastineau, I believe, is the guy who blocked it. So the Jets are very much alive. They have only 1 timeout remaining, but they do have 1 minute and 42 seconds to work with.
This young man has had trouble all day kicking it. You'll see Gastineau make penetration right between the outside man on the line of scrimmage and the tackle. And he is in there. You can't blame that on Alvarez. Lance Mel still on the sideline. They're now trying to get him on a stretcher. He has a neck collar on. We will try to get you any information on the well-being of one Lance Mel as soon as we can.
The ball is spotted at the Jet 31. Dual concerns for the Jets, the health of Mel and this drive.
Oh.
Todd is hit by Manu Tuiasosopo, and it's an incomplete pass.
Great pass rush by Manu Tuiasosopo from the outside, and the Seahawks are in this game to win. They are not about to lie down in front of the big bad 8-4-1 New York Jets, and the Jets have not played well from the first whistle to this point. There you see Manu Tuiasosopo coming around.
For those of you who may have just joined us, Jim Zorn, the regular quarterback for the Seahawks, a man who has engineered many upset victories himself, broke an ankle a week ago against Oakland. He's out for the year. Dave Craig from Milton College, an NCAA Division III team. Todd firing long. He wants Lamb Jones. Kerry Justin on the coverage. He had him all the way, and he got a hand on it. It's going to be 3rd and 10 coming up. Dave Craig from Milton College, enrollment 300, has stepped in as the starting quarterback. He has thrown a couple of touchdown passes. He has run for another score. And in something out of a storybook, he has the Seahawks in front 27-23 with 1:31 left. And there goes Lance Mel.
Neck collar on. We'll try to get you an update. You know, going into this game, nobody had heard of Milton College, I would imagine. Coming out of this game, everyone will know about Milton College.
Todd is 25 for 46 for 271. Lots of time. And a receiver. Bobby Jones makes the catch, and let's see where they're going to spot it. When he first latched onto it, he had the first down. Then he was pushed backward. And they're going to be left with 4th and about 1.
He did get out of bounds, though, so it stops the clock. And Todd has got a man open down here, but he doesn't want to throw it to him because that guy's only 4 yards deep. Good call by the official. 4th down and 1. Comes down to this.
They keep it on the ground. They get the first down. Big hole opens up for Durking. He is into Seahawk territory before Fred Anderson and Ken Easley stop him, and John Harris was also there. Now they start the clock again. Jets have 1 timeout left. Todd Over the middle, incomplete, over the head of Barkham.
He is the guy I believe that he'll look for. Richard Todd will look for Jerome Barkham. He's the heady receiver out there. Been in the game for an awful long time. Now he'll call 2 plays. And it's the purpose of the offense to fight the clock, get the ball, don't fight for inches, save seconds. And the defense, of course, they want to make tackles to keep the guy inbounds so they can use the clock as another player.
A couple of weeks ago at Shea, you were in the broadcast booth, Trump, when Richard Todd pulled off a miracle even greater than this one would be.
70 yards he went in about 2 minutes and 13 seconds with a 16-yard touchdown pass to Jerome Barkham to beat Miami, 16-15.
This pass is caught by Bruce Harper, who battles for the sideline and gets there. It's a gain of 5 or 6. Call it 6 yards. 3rd and 4 upcoming. 57 seconds left. Walt Michaels pawing at the turf. 5-game winning streak, and more importantly, a share of first place in the AFC East on the line.
This could be the season right here for the New York Jets.
Third down, Todd. Harper can't hold it. They'll be faced with 4th down again.
That was a great job by Keith Butler. He kept pace with Bruce Harper, but what he did was he got directly between Richard Todd and Bruce Harper, and if Todd was going to complete the pass, he had to throw it over Keith Butler, and that's almost a real impossibility. Watch this coverage. He gets right behind Bruce Harper. That's a great job by Butler in that particular situation.
The word from the locker room on Lance Mel, a sprained neck, which is a painful injury, but not quite as bad as one might have suspected looking at him on the sideline. 4th down and 4. Broken up by Michael Jackson. It's all but over. Barkham was the target. Jackson, the 3rd-year man from Washington, broke it up. And the Seahawks spell continues over the New York Jets. This is going to be 6 in a row, barring some kind of miracle. 6-0 for the Seahawks against the Jets. And coming in today, no matter what Buffalo and Miami did in their remaining games, the Jets had their destiny in their own hands. If they won against the Seahawks, the Browns, and the Packers, no matter what anybody else did, they were in as champions of the AFC East. If this score holds up, the Jets are going to need some help somewhere.
The Jets' winning streak started after the last loss to the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously, their chances for the playoffs may end with the Seahawks today.
Jets have 1 timeout left, and they use it with 44 seconds remaining.
On the line. Hands off to Sidney Thornton on the 1st and 10. The Raiders storming all over Sidney Thornton, but the progress was marked after a pickup of a couple. Otis McKinney came up with the football, and some of his bigger friends.
Years.
This was the winning score from Eddie Hill. Terrific effort. Final was 24-14. There was a meeting of 10-3 powers in Cincinnati. There were the 49ers and Bengals. The 49ers are now 11-3. This after beating the Bengals. Final 21-3. Let's go back to the Kingdome. Costas and Trump. Thanks, Bryant. And while we were away, Dave Craig merely took a snap and fell on the ball again. Now the Jets cannot stop it. And they don't even have to snap it again, and they won't.
Dave Craig in his debut, 20 of 25, 264 yards, 3 interceptions, 2 touchdown passes, 3 rushes for 35 yards, and 1 rushing TD. Not a bad day.
The Seahawks are 5-9. The Jets fall to 8, 5-1 on the season, and a game back of the Dolphins in the AFC East, and who knows where Buffalo will be after their game is concluded against San Diego. Richard Todd, 26 of 50, 280 yards, a couple intercepted, and a couple for touchdowns.
Don't. Julie, I'm your friend. And I just don't want you to get the wrong impression. You know what I don't understand, Cecily? I don't understand why you keep telling me that you're my friend, and then you go after Charlie.
How can you even think that? I am your friend. I'm Charlie's friend, too, and I would never do anything to mess you guys up. You know, that was a lousy thing to say. Okay, I admire Charlie, I do. So does everybody else. But I wouldn't even consider putting the moves on him. Good grief, Julie, it was